Jeez, there we go. Here we go. There we go. No sound. Look at this. We're starting that intro again. That's how we're doing this.
Okay. It's on now.
It's on
Yeah,
now.
it's on
Jeez.
now.
Oh, and I can't see you guys.
Oh goodness. Look at this. This is. You know what? This is the exciting.
I can see you guys.
Look at that. All right.
Oh,
So.
man.
Oh my goodness.
This is a roller coaster.
Episode 7 is fireworks out of the gate, right out of the gate. Naturally Gnar, season 3, episode 7, sponsored by Kohler Mountain Bike Preserve. We appreciate the support. First remote guest and
Female guest,
First
the great
female.
Maya Papaya.
Welcome.
Thank
to
you.
the
Welcome
show.
to the Gnarkansas.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Podcast.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Scot Ripple in the house. Say what's up, everybody.
What's up, everybody?
Dude.
Uh,
Oh my gosh, thank you. Anybody who's made it this far and followed us along with this journey of getting the show activated, I really thank you
Yeah.
for sticking it out, because that was tough.
Dire
But
Wolves.
anytime you do something for the first time, you're bound to have a couple of
Yeah, you think you have it dialed,
some
and then
scrapes and
and I'm like the worst technical. I have the worst technology like karma ever.
Scott breaks
Yeah,
technology.
nothing
Yeah,
works for me
me
ever.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're not here to talk about us. We're here to talk
Yeah.
about you. So, Maya, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
It was, I would say it was written in the stars, but maybe it was written in the eclipse. Coming fresh out of twilight.
Mhm.
But yeah, so how do we start this off? I often say that this show is the we like to tell the story of Arkansas, and because we being Gnarkansas, we promote and love this place, and this is what when we originally reached out to you, you still lived in Arkansas. That's correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And since moved back to Florida. What part of Florida? I'm not certain on that.
Well, right now I'm in Tampa.
Tampa. Okay, gotcha. Mountain biking in Tampa?
It looks like
Yeah.
it. It looks like you guys are
you got
shredding out there.
You got some mountain bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really call it mountain biking, but
There's jumps.
Yeah.
You
There's
got
jumps.
you got some jumps
Yeah.
to do. Yeah.
there's jumps and all kidding aside, there's actually pretty decent mountain biking.
I saw some parks in between like Tampa and Orlando. Oddly enough, my girlfriend, she got a job offer in Tampa, and I was just like looking on Trail Forks, and I was like, oh, there's a place here, but I have no clue of what's out there.
Yeah, well, it's there's a Alafaya, which is the most famous trail in the area.
Mm-hmm.
You also got Carter Road, which is more towards Lakeland, more northeast.
Oh, okay.
But aside from that, there's nothing else. Like, you got up north, you got Santos. It's okay. I mean, it does need work, but that's something else. I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it.
Gotcha. Is there in Arkansas we're so I feel like we're so I want to use the word blessed. We are blessed. We're blessed to have what we have here, but
Yeah.
it's so passive for us to have trails worked on here. So, for instance, right now, Air Raid, you know that trail.
I am very
Huntley?
familiar with everything.
Yeah.
I rode for 6 months, but I rode almost every day.
You rode hard.
Everything. Yes, I rode.
And I know that because I actually saw you at all those places.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so at Air Raid, they are. I just saw Robbie Trailblazers are redoing Air Raid, and I just posted a story about that, and it looks so beautiful now. Like the dirt ribbons are just popping, and so my question is out there, is there any trail advocacy programs, trail builders, or is it all like rogue DIY type stuff?
Mostly done by volunteers here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they able to get machines out there, or is it like wheelbarrow rigs and shovels?
Dog.
So
Yeah?
Alafaya, for example, is run by a state park. They do get donations from volunteers and from donors. But right now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm sorry, I don't know everything in this area, but I think they right now have a full-time trail boss that's taking care of everything inside there.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, they do have their equipment and everything.
I gotcha. Trail boss. That sounds like that's such a cool title.
Such a cool title.
I think that's my trail guide name.
You're the trail
We're trying
boss?
to find a trail guide name because we're like to just session stuff,
and like show people around.
You show people around, but not like a trail guide,
not like a real trail guide.
So
you know.
We were like trail pimp, and then there was like, but there's a trail pimp in SoCal, so we can't use that. And we're like trail boss. Oh.
Yeah, trail boss. But then is that like big headed? You're like, you're the boss of the trail.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great. Your son would actually not be. He would give you a bunch of shit for that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Who cares?
So coming from the land of plenty, or maybe we would say, you're going to, then coming from, real short lived. You said 6 months. You came to Arkansas and then decided to leave.
So, well, yeah. I mean, bottom line, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. But there's a history behind that.
Sure. And I don't want to. I want to cut you off here because I want to make this very clear to the audience listening.
Yeah.
I want this show is unfiltered. You'll get some cursed bombs here and there.
Yeah.
So we're just unfiltered dudes, but we also like not beating around the bush, and sometimes some stories are raw, and I like for this show to be truthful and be honest about like what happened, and so I just want the audience to know that, like, we're here to tell,
and we're not about
your story.
We're not about putting people on blast or anything like that. It's just,
for sure.
It's just the story's the story. But I do want to know, like, where are you from originally? Like, did you move to Bentonville from Florida and you moved back, or?
So originally I'm from Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
That's why sometimes my accent comes up. But yeah, I moved from Florida to Bentonville.
Mm-hmm.
I started mountain biking in Florida, and like I was saying earlier, I wanted to have a like history, like tell my history, my story, how I started in Florida, and how everybody in Florida was very inclusive and very encouraging. Like you made a friend anywhere you go, and they even invited you to ride group rides. And
sure,
I have to say this, when I went to Bentonville, I went 6 times before I actually moved because I loved it so much. Like
when you were coming, were you the first time was just for vacation, or were you like looking at it for a destination?
It was actually vacation.
Okay.
First time I fell in love with it, and I went with my friends. And the second time I kept luring my friends to, hey, come with me, we're going to Bentonville again.
You guys can ride this, yeah.
And then after the third time, it was like more, okay, so let me see how I can make it work in terms of work,
Sure.
living there. So I was already in my head planning, that's where I want to be, But clearly it didn't work out.
Yeah. Well, we can ease into it too, because I know that it's a difficult conversation to have, and in not knowing the story, I think that my gut immediately goes to how I feel about this place. Where when I come, I want to be here, and if there was something that ever made me leave, it would have to be something that was big enough to warrant that. And you know, like there's probably a lot of external factors that, you know, I don't know if we can get into the show or on the show or not. But you know, I know it probably had to be a hard decision, nonetheless.
It was more because I really, really wanted it to work.
Sure. Let's talk about your time here, you know, riding in Northwest Arkansas. You didn't just only ride Bentonville? Did you kind of spread out? Did you ride all the other places? Okay.
Well, I spread out to even Missouri, to Park. I forget his name.
Howler?
Or
Howler.
two,
Yeah.
and there's also
Howler
the twin
Howler.
rivers,
Yeah.
two rivers.
Yeah. So I went to Howler several times, and I also went to Mount Nebo. That's 3 hours away ish.
Yeah.
So yeah, I spread out.
Yeah. And Leatherwood, did you ever ride Leatherwood?
did.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
You like that spot?
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a couple of buddies at the Leatherwood spot that, I mean, it's such a great place that like harbors like, you know, really challenging stuff. And I imagine that, you know, coming from a place like Florida, where you were just mentioning, there's not a lot of trail options. You're coming to a place of abundance where I just imagine the whole time you're thinking like, we're about to, you know, ride our hearts out. You know, I can only imagine. And then also too, adding in all this this component. Let's talk about bike wraps. So behind you, we got some bikes. Are both of those bikes wrapped behind you by you?
This one is partial.
Okay.
This black area here. Wait, this.
There
Here.
you go.
And this one is full.
Yeah. So the one that's on our left is your bike, right? The with all the crazy colors. Yeah. I have to ask. This has baffled me this whole time. Like the way that you can wrap images around and make them, the lines carry from one side to the other. I saw in one of your videos that, you know, you kind of have like this, like, you know, like a flat template that you would kind of work off of. But just, did you have to figure that out, or was there something that like helped you do that and achieve that?
I do come from a car, you know,
vehicle wrapping background. Okay.
Which is, I have to say, it's very different to this.
Sure.
But yes, doing that, the way you do the design and the pattern and the layout itself, I don't know if I'm trying to think because I did share it a while ago, the way I laid out everything, that the bike literally just split to the sides and you could see the design on the sides and the top too.
Yeah, like it's flat, like a flat image.
Yeah. So the same way they do on the cars when they are doing design, you know, so everything has a continuity, you know, like it continues. So that's basically the same thing. I just create the design, a flat space, then I do the layout of the bike first, follow the trace on the side, like on flat side.
Yeah. Then
I split up, I open it on the computer like that, and then do the center, and I measure the center so it matches what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
And then after that, I do all the measurements, which is another topic. It's just
sounds like a lot of work.
Sounds like a lot of tedious work.
It's like I'm getting hot here by just
explaining it. That's
Yeah,
great. That's
awesome.
Great.
But
but
man, the work's amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do amazing work. I've watched a lot of your stuff and seen a lot of your finished product, and
Thank you.
Man, it's amazing.
Yeah, I was actually I'm gonna switch over to your Instagram here. You got, I mean, if anybody ever wants to like check out some of this bike prawn, this is like some goods here.
Yeah. Super legit.
And so many different things too, because I think that, you know, a lot of people, when they think about a wrap, I think their mind is a little, what's the word? It's a little locked in thought. where you don't know what you can do, but like looking at your page, there's so many different ways that you can wrap, and you can do full, you can do half, like even, I'm gonna switch back to your screen for a second. The bike on behind you, the blue one with the half wrap, like that kind of like interior thing, that's so cool to like.
It's just customizing your bike. Because there's so many bike brands that just have like one color or two colors, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's like, so you can get out, like especially out here when you go to the castle and there's like 30 or 40 people there, you might see 3 of your bikes there.
Yeah, in the same colorway too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's always bummed me out about mountain biking. So this American flag one, America. Oh, there we go. Let me get this full screen. Let me get it full screen here. There we go. Look at that jazz.
That's amazing.
It does Play It Again Sports.
Yeah.
That's so great.
That was a collaboration.
I love it. Can I have that bike? That's great. Super cool. So yeah, with the bike wraps, you were the idea, I imagine, was to bring bike wrapping to your bike wrapping business to Northwest Arkansas.
Pretty much. Basically that's what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can hear some reservation in your voice. You said it's what you wanted to do. I guess. All right, my.
Well, you were doing it, right?
I was technically doing it. Yeah.
Okay. What was it? Was it the business that soured things here, or was it the atmosphere? Because I as another point of preference before we get
it was a
combination.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead. I'll break the ice because I want to be since this is our show, I want to be the one that to say this very topical, heated comment that I know many people will resonate with once it gets out there, and we've just witnessed it so much that I have to be the pillar to start this. Mm-hmm. But in Northwest Arkansas, there is a level of what we refer to in our inner circle as gatekeeping, and some forms of purist mentality or elitism that seems to create a divide in what people who want to get involved in mountain biking around here, especially on a business level, that there's a vying for position that it seems that everybody is on, and no matter how you try to pitch it, where you say, hey, I'm down to just work with whatever and do whatever, that it may seem to the other party that you're taking their position, or maybe trying to encroach in what they've built, when in your heart or mind you may just want to be building upon or adding to. Mm-hmm. And so that's something that we felt. My question to you would be, is that part of the thing that you felt that made or that contributed to you leaving?
My answer is simple. Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. Was that nail on the
part of it? There's so many things that went on, and that's one of them. Yes.
Yeah, and I feel like because you have such a precise business, like a specific business, that it's different than like what we do. We're just trying to have a good time and do what we do and what we've always been doing. And I've said this in other podcasts, but in the mountain bike world, I'm certain that we come off as somebody new, and Gnarkansas has been around since 2000, 8, but officially 10.
8, 9, 10, yeah.
And we've been, Brandon's been doing a podcast. We come from the skateboard scene, so we're originally a skateboarding brand, and so we've been experiencing it a lot, getting into the mountain bike world as, we're something new, and we're kind of not,
With that being said, how long have you been wrapping cars and bikes? Yeah.
Cars and bikes?
Yeah.
Wait, right now 7 years?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And your business was going in Florida like beforehand, correct? Yeah. And still going. I don't want to to lead the audience off. You can hit Maya up right now.
Yeah,
you can hit her up right now.
Going strong
on this, and she'll get you a quote while we're here on the live show.
Yep.
Let's do it. But yeah, so I think that there's this. I think it probably happens with a lot of people where you see somebody for the first time. They're new to you, like they're a new person to you. So you might assume that they're just new in that, in the world that you're existing in, your world. But there's history before that, you gained experience, knowledge that you're contributing to something. And so I would say that, and I'll put this out there too. I know that there are bike wrapping options, in Northwest Arkansas currently, that you can seek out. But competition never hurts. If anything, gives people options. Did you deal with any competition issues?
I'm gonna be very, very honest.
Sure. No,
I did not. One of the points of me moving to Arkansas was to collaborate, and join forces, if you call it like that. But yeah, there was never. I didn't really feel that competition, other than the feeling of not being recognized for, not really recognized. You know what I mean?
Sure.
For what I was doing, and obviously I was basically working on the shadow of someone else, so I'm technically an employee. So
okay. When you came, I think you just kind of touched on it, that you were coming to collaborate, and I guess that would in your mind, I would imagine that is working hand in hand, 50%, kind of an equal two sides.
Yep.
And not like you said, an employee. So, I can imagine that being frustrating.
I mean, we were trying to get to the point of getting that business set where both parties were, equal and growing the business equally, but there were other things that were going on in the back, personal things that just didn't make it happen. They were not. It was not meant to be, period.
Gotcha.
I understand.
Yeah. If I've had a bunch of jobs in my life, I can only imagine that you were probably willing to get another, to probably move the business on. Like you were probably willing to do something else, but did you get any connection with people here? Were there, did you meet anybody here that you wanted to continue friendship with, or because I'm curious about that, the people that you met around here.
So it was, as I was saying, it was very difficult to even get in the group rides, specifically the e-bike group rides, because everybody just, it's that weird vibe you get, the cliquey, the I don't want to say fake, but fake at the same time.
Gotcha.
But I did get I did get to be part of Oz e-bikes race team,
Okay.
and they were so supportive, so welcoming. I felt like they were my family,
That's great.
for the time being, and that was my safe place,
Right.
aside from everything that was happening, that was my to-go place.
Gotcha.
And I was winning the races, and I was trying to compete with all the girls, but apparently the girls were, I was told, it's not me, that they were intimidated by me and they did not want to race against me. And I'm like, well, it's just racing, it's just fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to be competition for anyone, but I will race my guts out.
Yeah,
Sure.
you're gonna do the best you can.
I'm like that.
Yeah,
totally.
right.
So, but yeah, I was part of the team, and I was glad, and I was so happy they took me in.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I've mingled with a couple of those guys, and they've all been
awesome.
really cool and nice, and I see them on the trails once in a while, and but then I get what you're saying. There is that like weird elephant in the room. I've been on some group rides where you feel like unwelcomed, and there's so many people that they're all in their little groups talking, and you're just sitting there by yourself going, I feel weird, and I guess I'll do it, but I'm not going to come back again.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I totally know what you're talking about.
But good to know that I'm not not good, but good to know that I'm not the
it's not good to know that there's that there's mistreatment out there.
Yeah.
But I do think that it's important that if you're hearing this and you're thinking, hey, I wonder if I'm one of those people in, say, a group ride that isn't making somebody feel welcome, then it might be time for some reflection.
Yeah.
But I've heard this before, and this is not just coming from like I personally don't go on a lot of group rides other than our internal group rides, like our Gnarkansas rides.
Mm-hmm.
But on many group rides, I've heard that it's that the clickiness comes out.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. Like there's some level of responsibility of yourself to put yourself in the mix of something. When you go to a group ride and you don't know anybody,
of course.
And I'm more on the introverted side, so I know I have to like put some serious energy into putting myself in the mix. But there's definitely been some group rides I've been on where I have gone out of my way, and you just feel kind of like
pushed aside,
not included. Yeah, not included.
Yeah.
And so I understand that.
Yeah.
And you just there's a comedian, Sebastian Maniscalco. It's like, he did this little bit on yelping. He's like, I don't yelp. I just don't go back. I just don't go there again. And I'm kind of, that's my mentality. It's like, I feel like, I didn't vibe with those guys, and they didn't vibe with me, so I'll just try something else.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And it's funny. It's not funny, but it's funny because people that have gone there, people that are local there, living their whole lives. I met one guy at the gym one day, and he told me, I've been living my whole life here, and I can see what you're coming from, what you're saying, and I can't wait to get out. That was like, oh my God, like that really hit me. And people that went there to vacation, 20 plus, 30 plus people were sending me messages via inbox or commenting on one of the posts that I did about that, about feeling the same thing. And I'm like, okay, so it's not just me. Yeah.
I think we were one of those. We were one of those messages where, you question, first off, kudos for the courage to put that out.
Yeah.
I really mean that. But when the reason why your inbox lit up was because everybody else is experiencing some level of that. And it's I think the hard thing is putting a pin on it. Like, what is that? What is the thing? The thing that's creating that? And I don't know that it's one thing. I think that there's other than and my personal stance on this is the vying for position. It's where you're working with somebody and you're saying, hey, would you like to collaborate on something? They say, yeah. Like most people say yes because it just kind of like a auto answer, like sure, of course,
it's a default.
It's a default. Yeah. But then, you start to kind of see a divide or sorts, or some sort of like way to get out of the project or whatever that is. I'm not really sure what is doing it, other than somebody thinking that by working with you, they're losing their position in this rat race of Northwest Arkansas mountain biking cool points.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's weird to me because I always have this perspective of when you step back away from everything and you think about this mountain bike bubble, and outside of it, it's like
nobody cares.
And nobody even, you know what I mean? When you get out into the mass society and away from the mountain bike bubble, it's like most of society has no clue who any of us are or even cares. You know what I mean? And it's like, so what are we really doing here by
we're just
playing this like weird vibe game of, you're lame and we're not type of thing. And it's like, who cares? Why can't we just all have a good time like we're doing right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are we speaking any kind of sense here to you dots? At least?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, yes.
Okay.
So you're not tripping. Yeah, we're all kind of aware of this elephant in the room.
Well, and again, the courage it took to put that post out, and the it to me, even we didn't actually talk about this, but I didn't know how many messages you got from other people like us that reached out and said something like, hey, okay, so we were like nervous to say something, and then you didn't, no offense, but like you didn't respond immediately, but I imagined it was like, I told Scott, I was like, she got a bunch of messages. I know she did. I was like, it had to have been like it. And
no, I'm not kidding. It was like that. Like instantly my inbox was like, what is all
What's going on?
You turned viral there for a second. Not the reason that you'd want to go viral. I could clearly speak for. But again, the courage to like say it was refreshing for us because we were like, oh, we relate. Like we immediately relate, and we didn't. And it sucks because you're gone. Because like I want to say this too. We were saying this before, like off air. Had you found us, like you would have been so welcome on our rides, our Gnarkansas rides. Like it would have, I know our paths they crossed it wrong,
timing and all that,
times, but had it happened a different way, you'd have been more than welcome. And if you ever do come back, like please hit us up because like we'd love to ride with you, and we'll make a big hang out of it.
I would say. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to ride outside of Arkansas,
we do.
Yeah.
But Bentonville, Arkansas, right now, it's a
sore spot. Well, there's other places are being built. Little Rock's stepping up their game. There is going to be a chairlift park that will be coming soon. So. It's going to be something that you're going to want to check. And hopefully with time, time heals everything. It can allow some space for you to be able to come back and maybe not.
I say all the things I say, but I'm pretty sure like knowing you guys and knowing other few people that
Sure.
I know you guys even will get along with them, like we can just meet up and just group rides and everything.
Sure.
Like my people will get along with your people. It's like good.
No,
But
that's perfect.
I didn't know this back then, you know, and I went through so much struggles trying to build myself and build my business and trying to find people to ride with.
It's
It
tough.
was very exhausting. It was very exhausting.
And I think that that's the frustrating part about this is that it shouldn't be exhausting. Like I know like we're coming to do this for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, for fun, and not to be some kind of.
It's like I'm not here to take your business. I'm not here to take your husband. I'm not here to be this big.
Go for it. Not that person. You're not here to be that person.
Myself, like
break the ice so I can start cussing.
I'm not here to be this bitch.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Right.
All I wanted was just friends, buddies to ride with. That's it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Totally. I think all of us really want that exact same thing, and that's the frustrating part I think about the this sort of the gatekeeping that we're dealing with here is that we're kind of we're forced to be at other people's throats because they're at our throats, and then that creates this animosity, and then all of a sudden it's not fun anymore. You know, and I mean, I swear, everybody and nobody can deny this. All of the organizations out here that are involved in mountain biking, they all want more people riding. Everybody wants more people riding. And so if you're doing anything that counters that, rethink what you're doing.
Exactly.
Seriously.
It's like counterintuitive to or it's just like kind of there's this hypocrisy behind it all. Like we want more people to ride, but we want to make you bummed about riding.
Yeah,
you know, it's like you can't have both. But you know, I think with Gnarkansas, we just try and shrug it off, you know, and just the things we've been doing lately, like our weird twist on group rides. Don't tell them.
You're breaking it. No.
Yeah,
not you.
I just
We're not
said
telling
weird
you.
Twist.
Not you. Not
weird
you.
twist on group rides is to shake things up and just be different. And
all right,
because it is about having fun, not about showing everybody what we're doing, and that's
sure
kind of what we're trying to get away from. Like we don't want to do this big showcase of guess what we're going to do. It's more like, hey, you may hear about something and show up.
Fine. You know what? We will have this show be the one where we talk about it. We have a secret ride, and it's not really a secret. It's just a word of mouth ride. So
and everybody's welcome if you hear about it.
But Maya, what you were talking about, like are people getting along, right? Like that's what the whole point of our ride is that we invite people that we think are cool. And we just generally enjoy their vibe, and then they can invite somebody.
Invite your friends and leave your attitude at home and let's just have a great time vibing and riding and documenting it all for something to reflect back on years from now. Like, I remember this was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, celebrate each other's successes out in the trail.
100%.
Just support each other. Like, it doesn't take much, you know?
It really doesn't, man. It really doesn't.
No.
And every time we do it, it's just like the stoke involved in it all. And then you get people just like accomplishing things, you know, accomplishing tricks they've been working on or, you know, pushing the envelope to get better, you know, just all because everybody's so positive. And that's what has been happening so far on a couple of rides we've had. And it's so refreshing. Yeah.
And so I'm pretty sad that you can't witness that with us, because I think that you didn't get to see a part of Arkansas that we like cherish so much, which is like that I don't care who you are kind of, but we can hang, and as long as you can deal with some vulgar language and so we're okay people to hang around, you know, and I feel that way with you.
Hey, yeah, you guys are awesome, and what you're doing with the podcast and everything is just wonderful.
Oh, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
I mean that.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
But yeah, I think that, like our whole point with this thing was like, I don't think that anybody was like telling the story of what was going on around here. And when we saw what was going on with you, we were like, we got to talk about this, like,
yeah, because I think we had the podcast planned, and then I just randomly saw your post, and I was like, what's going on here?
But
yeah.
But I think it was one of those things where it was like, I said it. I was like, if she's leaving, it's for something. As a real
I knew
reason.
right away.
It's a real reason.
Yeah. It's like you just know. You just know right away.
Mm-hmm.
You know right away.
And then the tone of the message, and anybody, I don't think any of us could articulate it as much as as good as you were able to do in the writing. Mm-hmm. So if English is your second language, you're killing it.
Yeah.
Because that was like it was so well put that like I was just like, she nailed it, and I was like, can we put this on a plaque or something? Like,
yeah.
Can this be documented in history? And I think that's what we're doing with the show, because like we also talked before the show. Well, I think Maya, we did too, but Scott and I, we were like, should we talk? Should we like dive into it? I was like, yeah, dude, let's go. Let's talk about it, because I think
what's the worst that could happen?
Well, I mean, what? I mean, you're already gone. So
yeah,
we already lost you.
I think it's just talking about the idea of it. It's not like your specific situation and calling people out or anything like that. But it's just like it is a reality. It is something that's really happening, and it's funny because you can't really put like a finger on it, but you just know it's there. You just know it's there.
Well, it's like I said, you can't. There's not like one. There's not one
a central location.
Central thing that is contributing to it, but there's also one thought process that's making people think that way. And I think it's, for me, it's the vying of position. Everybody thinks that there's only so many podium positions. So if you get up there, it's like Ricky Bobby, Cal Norton. He's like, I want to win sometimes.
Yeah.
He's like, well, if you win, how am I gonna win? Like that's the. I feel like that's like what everybody is kind of saying, like under their breath. And I'm not going to say everybody. We have a very, very cool group of people that we ride with that I feel is high curated and is not that. I really don't feel like our group.
I think there's equally or more cooler people out here. Everybody's just kind of, those people are kind of just like doing their own thing, and you just have to find them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but if you like, in my brain thought process, it's like, that person came a long way from Florida, she moved everything, she left behind everything to this place. That. Why would you just push that person out?
Yeah.
Because most of the people that were there, they already knew about me, like word of mouth.
Yeah, they all time. And they knew that you were coming to work with them.
They knew basically everything.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's oddly enough, most of those people are transplants too. They're not really from here either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's like from Brandon and I's perspective, we always have this kind of chuckle that most of the people that gatekeep aren't even from here. You know what I mean? And we were here before there was trails even made.
How can you gatekeep a place that you're not
even
native from either? But and so like why not be collaborative in I feel like Northwest Arkansas is like a mini like New York City, where you have this melting pot of people that come from different walks of life, different areas, different ways of thinking, that all come for like one unifying thing, which credit due to the Walton family for their massive contributions to Northwest Arkansas
Mm-hmm.
trails. But there's this infrastructure here now of mountain biking that everybody wants to come and be a part of. So when you have all these people that come around from all these different places to come and enjoy in this, but then are met with gatekeeping, what's going to happen? 6 months later, they're going to leave.
You go back, it wasn't as cool as you thought.
Yeah.
You know, and it's easy to get sucked into.
I mean, I suppose I know, but that was not enough to keep me there. I know there's good groups there, people out there. I just was not with the right people at the time.
Sure.
Right.
And I got so exhausted. I got all my options exhausted to the point of me saying I'm out.
Yeah.
Like I just want to throw everything out and just leave.
For sure. Well, and you know what? I don't want to spend this whole episode just talking about, I definitely don't want this to feel like we're just like, why'd you leave? You got to come back. Rethink everything. It's more so like, I think that we just touched on something that was like so deep that it warrants conversation.
I mean, and if I was able to help put that out there,
hey, look, you did something. You did something for us, so thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for everything you've done around here, and I will say you still got like a driving force here. You got a crew that supports you and everything you've done here. And I think it gives you a reason to at least come back and visit and ride with everybody.
I'm sure I will.
There we go.
In time.
Yeah.
It wasn't all bad. I mean, I just think, that can cloud everything. All the negative experiences can cloud everything. But I know for a fact there is a large group of people that loved you being here and still do. I hear it all the time.
Yeah, well, I really, really appreciate those words. At least there's something out there, But
yeah. Well, let's try to move on from this.
So Florida, what's your plans there? Like now you're back. You've been shredding. We watching you guys rip it up over there all the time, and we still follow you. So what's happening?
Temporary. It's temporary until I get myself, built up back again.
Yeah.
Because Arkansas took everything, including everything.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I mean, you probably spent a lot of money just trying to relocate here, and then you had to spend more money relocating.
Moving back.
Yeah.
Are you where you want to be mountain bike wise?
No.
Where do you want to be?
I'm actually looking at West Coast.
There we go.
Like where?
Well,
I'm from the West Coast.
That we got a little.
I started mountain biking in San Diego, so
Nice.
I know a lot of people there. I started my whole journey there, so I've ridden so many trails out there. What part of the West Coast are you looking at?
I'm looking at Washington.
Oh,
so
wow.
far.
Yeah, that's cool.
Close to Whistler, in that area. So.
PNW, dude, you're going up there. Actually, well, you know what? If you were gonna go one place that wasn't here, that's where you should go.
Yeah.
We approve.
There's some cool spots like in Spokane and stuff. And
just Whistler in general. I mean,
so I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Bellingham area.
Yeah, Bellingham. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's, I would say, over 300 trails all in that area that are recognized in the trail maps.
Mm-hmm.
There's more that are not. They're they're not what you call it sanctioned.
Yeah, unsanctioned trails. Yeah.
So I'm not supposed to say this, but I did go there already.
Sure.
I already said it.
Yeah, there you go. See how the show goes.
Anyways, I've experienced already what
Sure.
what Bellingham is, and even Whistler, and I'm stoked with that.
Yeah, no, I bet.
There's one specific trail system called Galbraith.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's pretty fucking good.
Oh wow!
Really?
Wow!
Nice.
Can you see my excitement here?
Yeah. Totally.
Well, in that area, like if Northwest Arkansas, watch yourself with your words of this mountain bike capital of the world nonsense, because if there's one place that's mad about that comment, it's that area, you know, and it's because of what you said, 300 plus, and it's like, that's just the ones that are listed, not the real ones. They trump us by a lot.
Mm-hmm. And then you got Whistler just on the other side.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? I forget the name.
Dude, tip of the tongue.
Yeah, me too.
To the right.
Oh,
It's to the
South
right.
of Whistler. Well,
It's
what is
right
it?
by there. Yeah, come on. Look at us non Pacific Northwest locals. You'll be a local soon.
Yeah.
You'll be a local soon.
Squamish.
Yep, Squamish.
Mhm.
Squamish. Yep. So here's the silver lining. You get established up there, and then we'll visit
Then
you.
we got a reason to road trip.
Really?
up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
anytime.
Then
That's
you
what I'm
can
talking
trail
about.
boss all
You can
up
be
there.
the trail boss. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Well, yeah, and I mean, like, you know, if like I said, there's one place that I'd like to ride, it would definitely be that place, and probably has the same kind of like draw where like when you came to Northwest Arkansas, you're like, oh wow, I could live here. This is dope, you know.
Yeah.
But you go up there and it's like, whoa,
Yeah, it's
Like
like a real
10 times.
Yeah.
It's pretty up there, Seattle and all
yeah.
that
It's
stuff.
Yeah.
beautiful. It's absolutely the air is just something else.
That's I can
The,
kind of
the,
feel it.
the soil, the ground, the loam, it's like, oh, so such carpet. Like you just want to crash.
You want to crash.
Yeah.
I like that. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Bellingham. I know that it kind of has like a, you know, like big town, small town. Kind of.
In that aspect, I really don't want it to make it sound like it's another Bentonville. You know,
Sure. Yeah. Everywhere different.
very different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Heaven to earth. Different.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you know anybody up in that area? Or are you kind of going?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do. I know a couple, Heather and Elliot.
Sure.
That they were introduced to me by one of my friends, and we rode with them over there. They showed us around, and she's a killer rider. Like all the girls I saw riding there, they were like, "Oh my God, are you a pro?"
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
And I kind of like that because, again, that competition, people think like, oh, you know, like you're a female, you're a rider, you ride like this, you send this drop, you do this jump. I don't want that, you know? Like, I don't want that competition. I want to just have a crew of girlfriends and just send big
They
jumps.
send it and push you to get better and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Well, and also too, like I feel like it's one of those things where, and this happens to me, I guarantee this happens to everybody else, is that when you ride with people that are like slightly better than you, it pushes you, and you end up getting elevated up to their level. Scott used to suck, and now he rides with us.
And now I'm doing stuff that I never thought I'd do,
Yeah.
especially at my age.
Hell
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now you don't suck. I mean, kind of suck. You
Kind of
kinda
suck, but I don't
suck,
suck as I used to
as
suck.
much as you-
yeah.
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 you don't suck
I
as
suck
much.
less.
Yeah. Yeah. You suck
No, but
less.
seriously, that's pretty much what it is. Like people ask me constantly, "Oh, how did you get this good? Did you take classes? Did you do this or that?" I'm like,
Mhm.
well, for the most part, I only took one class, and it was a free class by one of my friends,
Yeah.
which is a coach. That was it. The other 95% of the time, I rode with people that were above my skill level.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
that's how you get good at something.
Yeah.
You practice and you write or do stuff that are, you know, like with others that are above you.
Yeah. No,
There's
you're.
really, it's
Yeah.
just that.
Yeah, you're totally right there. And
Yeah.
and I mean, like, I think that when you get to this point where I mean, if you're at the top of your ride group, you need to ride with some other people. And not that you need to stop riding with your ride group, but you just need
No.
to get like
Mhm.
spread thy wings a little bit, you know?
So
Um,
for instance, I had two groups. until the past year, two groups. One was on Sundays and one was on Saturday. The Saturday group was the push you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna push you till you die.
Yeah.
Love it.
And the Sunday was the chill, like hang out group ride, which I was pretty much the top rider.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed both. Like people think, oh, you're a great rider, I can't ride with you. Come on.
Yeah.
Really?
That sucks. Yeah. Because you want more people. You want the people who are lesser skilled than you or the main.
Well, a lot of people do that. You know what I mean? I hear it all the time. Oh man, but I kind of suck.
And they
I
won't
can hang with you
they
guys.
won't
And
ride
like,
with us or something.
No, yeah, and it's like no, like that. We want you to come. That's how you're going to get better. And it's just that intimidation. And I've been through it a zillion times.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Well, and I have to sometimes go like ride with people that are above my skill level. But I was telling you the other day that like I get stoked when I go to those things because I'm like, okay, these dudes are going to make me do something that I haven't done before.
Exactly.
I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that. And so, yeah, I mean, like going to places where, to touch back on that, when you ride when you have like a chill group, like I have just as much fun riding those times.
Mm-hmm.
I had so much fun.
Yeah.
Like both groups were awesome in different ways.
Yeah.
That Sunday group was just chill.
So I hope that people who are green trail riders, we want to ride with y'all. We want you to come out because what's going to happen is you're going to ride a green trail and then we're going to take you on a blue trail.
Yeah.
I think some of the best.
We're going to session that feature.
We're going to drop the hammer.
Honestly, sometimes the best rides / group rides are the ones that are just have no plan.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna show up here and we're just
gonna ride.
What are
out.
we riding? I don't know.
I
What do you guys want to ride?
Yeah.
And then we end up having the most fun ever.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
So I like to kind of like to plan everything around no plan.
It's go with the flow. Got to go with the flow.
I just know we're gonna meet here, and then what happens after that remains to be unseen until we do it.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then after the ride, you go eat, you get a beer.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
That's the best part.
That is the best part.
Yeah.
If we're all telling the truth here, we all ride for the post ride beer.
Mm-hmm.
It's all for the post ride beer. So talking. I want to get back to the bike rats for a second. I've never quoted bike wrapping. Could you give me like a price range of like smallest job to largest job and what so somebody would know like what to expect?
So something like this would cost around $700.
Okay.
Depending, obviously, there's a range to it, but that's a part, I would say.
And is that like considered like a half wrap?
That's a half wrap, yeah. But the chain stays and the seat stays are also like they have a custom design strip as well. So it has coverage on the back too. So that one, this one, is more towards the $2,000. One thing I'm gonna say, that one is reflective. That one.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That one is reflective vinyl. So basically at night you just flash with lights and you just see the whole thing.
Oh, okay. So it kind of acts as like a safety feature too, right?
Yeah.
On the trail.
Yeah.
Okay.
So e-bike, also the color of the bike depends as well in the quote process.
Makes sense.
So the design as well depends on the quote. I would say anywhere, if something like that, anywhere between 17 to 2,000.
Okay.
Yeah. For a mid-range design job, I would say 1,200 to 1,400. So if it's just a solid color change, 800 to 900, maybe 1,000, depending on the color and the bike.
And you were talking about color change or color, the base color being so I know this about cars too, that like white and black is kind of what you want as a base that is easy for wrapping, right?
So yes and no.
Oh, okay.
Depends on what the client wants. If the client wants, he has a white bike, and they want black, it's more work for me to cover all the white spots, you know.
Yeah.
So again, with the black, same thing. If they want something else with completely opposite colors, it's gonna go off, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's more work.
When you do those, there's like these so I just imagine like you're wrapping around something and you're having to like have it meet on the other side with the material. But is there ever like times where you don't have like enough material and you have to like add more to it, or is it kind of like more like you have abundance and you're removing from? Like you have more material that you're just cutting away.
I always do more than what I need.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Just because I have to sometimes stretch to get in the curve, and then if I don't do the measurements well, I'm just gonna, the vinyl will stretch back, and if it stretches back, you will see the remaining color like in the background.
So what would you say, like, if as a customer I'm asking, what are the benefits of the custom wrap as opposed to just a custom paint job?
Oh, that's easy. Protection of the bike, resale value, aesthetics, but mainly protection. You know, and when I do these types of jobs, I always recommend the person to cover them with paint protection film, which they apply the same film on cars too, the clear film.
Right.
Protect the paint, because I mean, if you're gonna sell your car, that will boost the resale value. The same thing goes with bikes. You take it off and the paint is intact.
And if you wanted to like switch it up and do something new,
exactly,
you can rewrap it with something new.
That's what I've heard, that like at least in the car world, what people refer to as like you're not stuck with a color. You know, you may like the bike and not want to change it next year or something, and you just want like a fresh kind of look at it. I think the thing that's tough, Maya talk to me about this too. So like you mentioned that like your bike, the super crazy job, you have I imagine you have a lot of time in that one. You said that one probably would run around 2,000, you said, right? Yeah. So that kind of gets to the cost, or like close to a cost of like a frame. Like you're getting encroaching towards the cost of like what a frame would cost. Do you ever does that conversation come up where people like leverage that in against like your quote or something like that? Do they talk about that?
Not really.
Okay.
No. Because if there's someone that wants to do it, that wants a specific design, but they don't want to, sometimes it comes to the part where they don't want to ruin the original paint, you know, with painting it or doing something custom.
Sure, yeah.
So wrap is helpful.
So for like you said, resale.
Yeah, but also not to, some people just, I would say resale, basically. Yeah.
Like
resale.
Yeah, and you don't, I mean, there's no way, there's zero way you're going to get the amount of customization that you can get with a wrap that you would get with paint. Well, not like no way, but like...
unless you're a very, very, very extremely good artist.
Like a really good painter. You got to be like one of those car pinstripers, you know, that like can like hold it and just like make a straight line with their hand or whatever.
It's not the same as grabbing several images or even painting something in the computer and modifying it with all sorts of Photoshop brushes and textures. It's not going to be the same. But if you if you're going to pay for a paint job like that,
it's probably going to be more.
It's like 10K.
Yeah, it's probably going to be more. Yeah, right.
Minimum.
Yeah. So at that rate, it's an affordable way of getting something highly customized.
Yeah. I mean, and it's also, the price includes, it's not only the design and the vinyl, the design vinyl. It also includes the paint protection film in that price. So
Yeah.
I think it's a very good investment.
Yeah.
Right now I remove everything, and the paint. I can assure you, most of the paint in the rear triangle, the front triangle is intact, completely intact.
Right.
It has no nicks. The rear triangle, mostly for the most part, it's intact too.
Okay.
And I can resell it for almost the same value, like the same price.
Yeah, and I think that when you look at things like Groundskeeper, like a lot of their kits are kind of half coverage, partial coverage, or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of like the wraps where you're kind of like wrapping everything, like or most, or depending on the job, or like whatever.
Yeah, depending on the job, and that's where I come in play, because I like to do, if I'm gonna do a full wrap job, I like it to look I want it to look like paint.
Yeah, right.
That's the point of it.
Sure.
Why do patches here, patches there? Like I've seen kits online that I'm gonna change the color of the bike, but you're seeing the thin line. It's just like a ride wrap kit, but color, and you're seeing spaces all over. It's like, what's the point? I don't know.
No,
that's
good point. No, that's a good point. And I mean, like if you're, I have a project car I'm working on, and I was, we're talking about like paint, and when you're doing custom paint jobs on cars, everybody has the same conversation. Like, are you painting the engine bay and door sills? And if you're not going to original factory, it looks weird. Like it looks strange. Like if you do that. So like with bikes, there's less. It's like less is more. So like, if there's like, say you have, you got a wrap job and you went black, but it was like, your bike was orange, and there's like these little orange spots popped over. That sucks, So you would definitely want somebody that, like, I guess, knew or knows, solid wrap techniques. Is there bad wrap jobs out there? I can only imagine.
I mean,
mine is really
there's
bad.
not much people doing.
You got a bad rap game?
Yeah. Mine's terrible.
That's a different story.
But there's not many people doing what I do. That's the thing that's another thing that brought me to Arkansas.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there really isn't, though. There really isn't a lot of people.
There's not.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. With that, I mean, I think that, I imagine there's a level of like you get what you pay for. So, I mean, like you could probably get a lesser wrap job, and not pay as much. You can also probably try to wrap yourself, which sounds insane, not knowing what's going, not having
to
this.
Do something fully like that.
Like
where
that?
You gotta take
there's
all
no
the
way.
components
There's
off
no
and
way.
everything. Yeah,
there's like, I can't imagine that there's anybody out there that like you don't do wrapping. And then you're just like, I'm just going to buy a vinyl kit and I'm just going to do it myself, You
have to really be artistic and
patient.
Patient. Yeah.
Yeah, patient.
Yeah.
Which I'm not. I'm not at all.
No.
But it's funny you talk about this assembly. This one, I did it before the Bentonville Bike Fest last year.
Yeah.
I was rushing. Like, I really wanted to get it done, and I needed to get it done. I did it in one day.
Oh,
That's
whoa.
not normal for me. That's not normal for me. I usually take more than one day, just because I like to take time. But I did not take anything off of it. I did the seams in a way that you can barely tell it's there. So that's another thing that you have to consider. Like, if you don't want to take components out.
That makes sense.
And you probably can see all the flaws, but regular person, it looks amazing.
Like, you need to know how to do the seams, where to do them, and how thin you need them to be. Use a knifeless tape. Like, there's a lot of things going on too if you don't want to take any components.
Sure, and there's probably other things that you can do too. Like, I know, like on that bike, there's a lot of like color where like it goes from like hot colors and cool colors, and so do you do things like maybe like add a color on like the I want to say the bleed area of the wrap where you like when you pull it over, there's just like extra color, so you can have more than enough art, like or do you have to like ever manipulate the art to where you add more color to make sure it wraps around the frame?
I'm not sure I'm getting the question.
Well, like so on that I guess this is my point. So like on that bike, I was calling it like polygonal art. Like it's like there's like that art that kind of wraps around, and there's the part on the down tube where I imagine it had to meet in the center, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it had to touch to a point.
Oh yeah.
So that area.
That's in the design.
Okay.
Yeah, and getting all the measurements, accurately.
Sure.
Yeah, that's why it's a lot of work, because based on the measurements, I need to create the design. I need to leave extra, of course, for the seams and everything, like to match it. This area, for example.
Yeah.
I needed to leave this much extra.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
So I could put the vinyl and connect it with the lower part.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, do you ever have to like redo? Like, do you like print something, put it on, and you're like, "Yo, that don't work." No. That's one and done. Okay.
I haven't had any.
You have to have your calculations on point.
Yes. And
okay.
I pay a lot of attention to that first step, so I don't. Excuse my language.
Yeah, for sure,
Totally.
And I mean, like, too, those are on you. Like it's not you're not charging the customer. Hey, I messed up on the head tube. You gotta start over.
Yeah.
I will lose time and obviously material.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, no, that's really impressive too, to know that I'm like looking at that bike right now and just thinking that you did all that in like one go. Like I'm baffled right now.
And it just looks so great. It looks like it was
made that way. Yeah.
It looks like it was made that way.
And that's cool too, because it's like, when you buy a bike, I mean, I was fortunate that I have a Polygon T8, and the colorway on it is pretty cool. It's got like these kind of like carbon fiber looking areas, and then purple like a shimmer paint, and then there's a couple areas that are like I can't remember what it's called, but it's like when you take a photo with flash, it has a kind of like a pearlescent kind of look to it. So it was just cool, like right out of the gate. But then that was cool until I hit a trail hub and I saw somebody with my bike color, and I was like, bro, this sucks. I want a new bike. So like I can see that's, a reason why, even me, I just like to maybe do something, different. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah. And so you do, when you do the bikes too, you were talking about disassembly, and I've seen this with other people who do bike wraps or even painting too. You can either like give you the bike or like give you the frame, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And then do you, I guess this is another like quote question. Do you charge, or do you allow somebody to take the bike apart themselves and just give you the triangle and the frame, and you just, you know what I mean? Like, it's just easier for you, right? I can just imagine. Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming the person knows how to do it, so
sure.
If they fuck up, it's on them.
But is it more expensive? Like, do you charge like a rate for like disassembly?
Reassemble?
Yeah.
I sometimes I just don't do it because they're paying a lot of money.
So much, yeah.
And I already, like have someone that is familiar with it and he helps me and everything.
Sure.
Like disassembly. So I'm like, usually I have to charge for the time at least, $50 to start. Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, I just think that, my goal would be to make bike, the idea of getting your bike wrapped accessible for somebody, because like somebody could hear the price tag of 2,000 and be like, oh god, I can't do that, dude.
Yeah.
But then like, can you do some stuff that will help kind of eat at the cost to where it's one, easy on you, and then save them some bucks, you know?
Yes. But to those people, I mean, everybody has their own budget and everything, and I do try to explain the process, you know, from the start, the design hours, 3-4 revision hours, then to translate that with all the measurements to the print guy, then to print it, to laminate it, and then to install it, which is typically 3 days minimum. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And then
it's so interesting because
every day it's 8-hour day or more.
this is like such good information because, you know, from a normal just dummy perspective, you're just like, you know, you don't think about all those things. You're just like, oh, you just wrapped it real quick, right?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, no, bro, like I had to do designing and printing and there's all this stuff behind it all.
And I did try to make a lot of reels showing, you know, the process, like the high speed reels, but then also the slow speed where you can see me like doing a knifeless tape or doing a very, very delicate area where I have to cut by hand, you know, those type of things. Like I do try to show to the people.
Sure.
They don't understand still.
Yeah.
I saw the videos too where you were printing it all out and cutting it all, and it was eye opening.
I mean, how do you do that? Yeah. Like in my brain, as a normal person, how do you do that so that it looks like paint? You know, those are the type of thing. Like I want people to think, like, to understand that it's not easy.
Yeah.
And Brandon and I work in skateboard manufacturing, so we know. Like there's so many options of we do custom printing, and the board builds with different layups of the veneer and colors and stuff like that. And so we get the vibe, like, you know, a lot of people come at us like, well, just make it this way, like, you know, just a shoulder shrug. It should be pretty easy, right?
There's like so much that you can do.
So much that goes into.
And same for the bikes too, because I can imagine like, you know, there's. Is there different like films that you can use? You talked about the reflective one that you have on that bike there.
Thickness.
Like what are the options there?
There's the regular vinyl, which I call regular, which is that one.
Okay.
It's the brand. It's Avery Dennison. It's the easiest one to work with, and so far it has been great. I had never had an issue with it. So the other one, if I'm not mistaken, it's Avery too. I remember when I bought it.
Okay.
But anyways, reflective. There's also I've seen people printing on chrome. I have not want to do that.
Oh, okay.
I've worked on chrome vinyl, and it's like, what am I doing?
It's difficult to work.
Why am I doing this?
Does it wrinkle? Do you have trouble with it wrinkling?
It tears up so quickly.
It tears.
Yes, like you could be finishing up a piece, and you just pulled it a little bit too hard, and that's it.
And it's gone.
The whole piece is gone. Yeah. So in that aspect, you asked me if I had to redo.
That's the one. it's all the reflective chrome foil type. Yeah.
Same thing.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. We have in skateboards we have a reflective foil that we put on skateboards, and that's we have similar issues with that. So it's interesting to know.
Yeah, it wrinkles real easy.
Yeah, wrinkles and rips. So yeah, you were talking about the different films. One of the things that came to my mind when we were talking about that was the printing. So like obviously yours is custom designed, custom printed. Do you print all that stuff? Do you have a printer that does that, or do you send that off?
I only have a cutter. Okay. I have to consider right now at the moment. I don't have a printer. I've been trying to look to get a printer, but the cost is just not effective.
So you just outsource that printing, and then you get the vinyl, then you do the cutting, because the cutting is the part that's the part that's custom. Well, not only the design's custom to the bike, but the design plus the cut is what gets the bike shape.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Just trying to wrap my head around this. Anytime that you're looking at something, you're trying to like figure it out, and you're like, there's so many things to it. That's why somebody gets paid for it. Mm-hmm. That's why you have to pay somebody for it, because there's so much to do. You want somebody that's skilled, that knows how to do this.
Oh yeah,
that's why nobody wants to do it.
Yeah. I don't want to do
tedious.
it. I don't want to do it.
My first bike I got it ride wrapped, and it was like $100 for the ride wrap, and then it was like $300 to get it put on. And when you do look at all the seams, it was just a crappy job. And then, I'm a huge advocate for ride wrap being trash. Sorry, ride wrap, but it's like, I crashed a lot learning how to mountain bike, and I mean, it just shredded it instantly. And
did it did its job, right?
No, it didn't, because I'd still scratched all my bike up. It still peeled the paint off of it, and I was like, well, this is useless. I paid like $450. All the way around to get this done. And my first crash, I got the ride wrap peeled off, and the red paint is peeled off of it with it. Yeah, and it's like, what did it really do? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's I'm not gonna defend ride wrap, but they did something to the film. Like, they made it better.
They stepped it up.
Did they?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's and if you crash, you're gonna crash the paint. I'm a little bit biased here. Okay. If you crash, you're gonna be crashing the paint. So, and you don't know how hard you're gonna crash. Mm-hmm. Those are the things you really don't think.
The variables. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it happens to be something light mid-ish, you were protected. That's the point of it. Now, if it's something big, it's something, a crash that not even you came out, walking, it's not gonna support that.
Yeah.
Well, I have like a Dyed Bros kit on mine now, and it's an e-bike, so it's heavier, and I've crashed it, and I can see the nicks. It's thicker. You can tell it's way thicker. Yeah. And I can see the nicks in the Dyed Bros stuff, but it didn't even touch the paint at all.
There's different levels of PPF, paint protection, whatever you want to call it. I've seen the ones that they use on motorcycles. They're very thick, like 12, 14 mil thick. Okay. Those are good, I suppose. It's the same thing with ride wrap. Ride wrap is one of brands. I can't touch it. Sure. Can't talk shit.
Yeah.
Like this, but
it's an industry standard, right? Like it's industry standard, and it gained that position for a reason. Yeah. So
yeah. But for light riders, it's good, because you want to protect your investment, and if you lean it over something and it just falls on something, it's gonna protect that
for sure. Yeah. Well, and another thing too, like I've looked at those kits, and even when Scott was getting his, we were talking a lot about putting it on yourself, and like you ended up going for somebody that put it on. That was $300, right? You said it was. I mean, we're starting to talk about what we could do with a wrap. I start to look like cost balance this, and it's like, well, you could get a custom wrap for
so for $450 it's just clear. It's
just clear. Yeah. And so you got no customization whatsoever. And I know that like Dyed Bros, they have like the different, and Groundskeeper too, like they have different designs and stuff like that. It's cool.
And I put it on myself, but it was horrible. It was the worst job. I gotta
redo it. And it's horrible. And then it's trash. It's like, she does it one time. She said, look at that design. Look at that design right there.
Yeah,
one time. That, ladies and gentlemen, one time. That took her one go. Did that.
And you won't go to the castle and see that.
And you won't, exactly. You're gonna ride up and be unique,
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool, dude. That's so cool. And I'm even like, I'm bad too. Like I got my polygon's pretty trashed right now. And like, cause I do nothing. I have zero paint protection, zero. And it's bad. I feel like I could just get a wrap, and it's like right back to freshies. Yeah, well, so that's another cool part about it. It's an
alternative to make you feel like you got a new bike.
Yeah. So So I might consider that. So do like a half wrap or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's something people do ask me a lot too. Like, can I wrap my beat up bike? Yes, you can.
Yeah, right.
And if it's chipped, like you can just feel it. Like all I need to do is just wet sand it. I've done that for my clients.
Do you do you do you offer just like a price point, affordable, maybe even clear, or is it just all like
the clear? Well, the clear it's 350, including the kit, the full kit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the install. And I think
that's
it's
all inclusive. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it includes the kit and the install. Like.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you have options for all kinds of stuff then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Yeah, because I think that it's man, I think that when I look at your page and I'm just like, there's so many different things you could do. You could, I've seen the logo color change. I'm sure you've done stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like
Lots of them.
Die cut logo change stuff. And or just like these high end busy designs. I can imagine that some designs are probably like easier to match than others. Like maybe like a distorted image, like distorted lines and stuff. It's kind of like it can
I mean, honestly, in this industry, the sky is the limit. Like it's just so many options. Like sometimes my clients get like, oh God, I don't know what to do now. Like
overwhelmed. Yeah. No, I think that's kind of how I feel.
Do you have to be local to get your work done, or could someone ship you their frame?
Actually, the last few, I would say the last one I received was shipped. Yes.
Oh, okay.
The last couple of bikes I've done were shipped. I don't know if you saw the gold one.
Yes.
That was.
Wow. Let's pull that one up. We're gonna pull
for the company. That was for the company Wheels MFG and for the Sea Otter Classic.
Oh, okay.
Is that this one? Yeah. This one?
Yeah, that one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that is sick.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The base vinyl is a color shift, meaning that it changes colors depending on the light, as you can see.
Right.
And then the chrome on top, every single one of them was, put there.
Yeah.
Individually.
Right. Did you have another post for
and
that
the
one?
purple one was also shipped to me recently. That one? Yeah.
Okay.
That one is from Texas.
Okay.
I thought it was Arizona, but it was Texas.
Okay.
But yeah.
I've got process here.
I also got it's funny. I always like to mention this bike because it's funny how
the lines.
The owner made it possible to fit in a wheels box.
No way.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's
the whole
bike? An e-bike. Obviously, the rear triangle was separated, but it was everything in one wheel box. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, but that's cool though, because so
also the shipping it's way less. So that's another option.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like because when you're doing this, you're thinking that you're gonna have to ship your whole bike, but knowing that you can put it in a wheel box, I mean, that can't be that much to ship.
So that bike was red because my bike was red. My bike is red.
And she covered it all. Look at all that. Look at all that.
Man, that's amazing.
That's crazy. And even into like the
that red part is gonna be covered. Obviously.
Yeah, don't worry about that. But you went into like where the shock support.
Yeah, most of it. For the most part.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Because
the support will be. I mean, the shock will be right there.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be visible.
For sure.
And can you put like the brand logos back on, or
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If the person wants it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That person wanted her business branding all over the bike. So.
Oh, okay.
Might as well. It's like a rolling business card at that rate.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I mean, I think that, like you said, like the sky's the limit when it comes to, the options that you can do for this stuff. That like, you could easily get overwhelmed. But then at the same time, it's like, well, what do you want? You know, because I think we can do it.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. I'm already thinking
I
like,
know my wheels are spinning.
what can I do? I don't know.
What's a Gnarkansas wrap?
I don't know. I was thinking like if we do one, like it's got to be like nature. It's got to be. But yeah, like some like nature like scene. I've seen some kind of cool like silhouette nature kind of shots where it's like, you know, trees and mountains and stuff, and maybe like some more solid color
My
stuff.
brain is really working.
Yeah, and I like that polygonal kind of shapes that you have on your bike. You know, like I could see a design like that. I really like, you know, I'm big in like racing, so I like carbon fiber everything, of course. And then, but like I like carbon fiber but with a little color splash. So like maybe it's like half carbon fiber, half color or something, and then like half carbon fiber, maybe like gold. Sorry, she's like already. She's gonna charge me extra.
Yeah, you're gonna be the most expensive.
You realize how much
wrap.
of this stuff ripped?
Yeah.
Yeah, so crazy. Have you had any jobs that were just like so like bad that you had to go back and tell them it's gonna be a little more, or have you just do you honor your price, or how has that ever?
I'm trying to think. So far, no.
Okay. I mean, really,
Yes.
if you did that your bike, I mean, it's like your bike is seriously like it's showroom type stuff.
So cool.
It's for sale, right? And did you say you're selling that bike? Yeah.
Yeah, I already have a buyer.
It's sold. That bike is sold. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
I did choose who it was going to.
Sure, right.
Like I'm a dot boy, like with my bike. I'm like, no.
It's like a kid. It's like a kid. You're like, you've been approved. You've been approved for your adoption.
Yeah,
Yes.
like a 5-page questionnaire before you can buy it.
That's great.
So yeah, my friend's daughter, which is 11 and a shredder, she's gonna have it.
Oh,
Nice.
that's
Awesome.
Crazy.
Ooh, I shouldn't have said that.
It's gone.
This
It's
is
gone.
a surprise.
It's gone. Is she watching the show?
It's past her bedtime, maybe.
Oh yeah, she's sleeping.
She's like,
Okay, we're good.
but that's cool. That's cool. It gets to like kind of stay close
Yeah.
to you to some.
Plus,
degree.
we cursed on here, so we have to change it.
She
to
can't even watch it.
It's not for
She
kids.
can't even watch it.
It's not
Yeah.
for kids.
Oh.
So we're safe.
I don't think that matters.
I don't think it
Yeah.
stops people.
No, I don't either.
I mean, I was definitely listening to
Fake checkbox.
a bunch of West Coast gangster rap when I was in elementary school. So if I could do that, I'm sure kids can listen to some
Figure out a way. to log
curse
into
words
it.
on YouTube.
Yeah, I've been there when I
Yeah.
was little.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
Right. Man, so cool, man. We've covered a lot of stuff that I was really hoping to cover. You know, I really definitely wanted to talk about bike wrapping. You know, the Northwest Arkansas issues.
Yeah.
So super frustrating still. I still want you to come back. We've got to figure it out. So when that time comes, you got to at least promise us you'll hit us up.
Oh, for sure, dude. Yeah, that's not even in the question. Like,
Well, let's
I
put it
just
this way: if you're
passed my
if you
mental-
move to Washington, are you driving?
Huh?
Would you be driving to
I
Washington?
ain't
Of course.
Well, then you gotta pass through.
You gotta
You
come
gotta
through.
pass through.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll just won't tell anybody
Yeah.
that you're coming.
Well, we can ride outside of Bentonville.
We know what we
Yeah,
do.
we'll
Yeah, we'll
locate
go.
it.
We'll go
We
up.
can go to that's one of my favorite places in that area. Passion Play.
Fashion play.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
let's go.
Love that track.
Let's go.
Yeah, we can go out there. That'd be fun.
All right.
Passion Play, Leatherwood, Kessler. I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys-
Kessler.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kessler. What was the other one right next to Centennial?
Centennial. Yep.
Yeah, we're close to Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
It's
Those
too-
are
it's too close to
great
Bentonville.
trails.
Yeah.
Greater. I would say almost greater as, like than
The Bentonville stuff. No,
But
yeah, it is. It just doesn't get as much maintenance as the
Yeah.
Bentonville stuff. So like, even Fayetteville, Springdale, Eureka Springs, everybody is wanting to be a part of the mountain bike stuff, so they get the cool trails, but they don't get the same kind of trail maintenance plans. And they're kind of outside of, and some of them are outside of the scope of what NWA, or I'm sorry, Trailblazers, We Are Trailblazers, can access or have the time to access. So, and I haven't really talked to them. When we had them on, Scott, did we talk about how far their reach goes? Like, can they go work in Fayetteville and
really.
Eureka Springs? I can't remember.
I think they go
I
where they're
haven't
told to
seen
go.
them out there.
Mm-hmm. I can't
I don't think so.
Yeah, I can't think of it. So I'm gonna have to hit up the boys and see if I can get some privy
just
information there.
From what I see, it's just Bella Vista, Bentonville.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that's pretty much where all they're confined to.
Yeah. I should probably. I'm gonna take we're gonna take a quick small break to talk about the people in the chat, because we haven't really shouted out anybody in the chat. Because we've been I get tied up when I'm running the show. I got a lot of stuff going on over here. Mr. Tonka, hey, props on getting us set up. It was a struggle today.
Yeah.
Spokesman MTB, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
Holler. Yeah.
Look at that chair.
Yeah, all over some stuff. Where are the best trails between Bentonville and Brevard? What the hell's Brevard?
Brevard,
Where's
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Oh, geez.
Knoxville?
Yeah.
Knoxville's
Yeah.
supposed to have some dope stuff. I mean, I haven't been there, but
Right.
that's always like something we've talked about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not. Man, I don't really go east. I don't mean to.
Yeah. We just
Yeah,
need to.
just haven't.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So the chat needs to help us out on that one.
How about Tennessee?
Yeah, Tennessee.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Windrock.
I recently went. I know you guys. I think you saw my stories and stuff.
Yeah.
I went to Chattanooga,
Yeah.
and it was remarkable. Like,
Oh yeah.
the trails are amazing.
There we go.
Alden's Ridge and Raccoon Mountain, both are amazing. If anyone is going to that area, needs to hit those two for sure.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Let's see. Mountain Bike Q&A. What's up, Johnny?
Johnny.
Appreciate you being there. Oh, look, segment. Mark's hanging out a little bit, buddy.
Marco,
Appreciate ya.
Mark,
Anita,
my brother.
hey, I don't know if she's still there, but
Who was that?
Maggie.
Oh, Maggie. Yeah,
Oh,
she
Maggie's
was.
still- yeah, Maggie shreds,
we
man.
see some bikes.
Yeah.
We see
Yeah.
some
Oh my
bikes bruised and base
You
camping.
know what's funny? The story behind, like her and I, like I met her almost at the end of me moving.
Oh no!
Oh, really?
Look at this. You met all the cool people at the very end.
Yeah.
She was living still in Wisconsin, and I'm like, girl, you need to move here. Back then, I was not thinking about moving per se, but I was like, girl, you need to move here. We need to shred. You will be my shredding buddy. I need it.
She moved here.
And then she moved here
Here.
after I moved. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, her and her
Serendipity.
husband Steven are so cool to ride with, man.
Yeah.
They're so much fun.
For
Yeah,
sure.
they're all
so much
sure.
fun. Love it.
Got a shout out to Donut. He's been here the whole time. Holler, buddy.
Yeah, that's our boy.
Appreciate you. Share Cleveland. That's
There, that's my girl.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So share.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Alabama. Is she in Alabama? Or share Cleveland.
Sure, yeah.
She in Alabama. Okay.
Yeah, that's sure Cleveland. That's my girlfriend in
Gotcha.
Florida.
Gotcha.
The segment. Woo!
The segment talking about Canuga.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
That's always a destination.
Oh, Johnny!
Yeah.
What's up?
Johnny,
Yeah.
Man, appreciate all y'all showing up for the show,
Heck
man.
yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Those are the boys.
Yeah, and it's been a ride of an episode too. We didn't hold back. I'll say that. Yeah, no holding back on Naturally Gnar. In lieu. Oh, that's a funny name. In lieu, L-E-W. In lieu of. That's funny. That's funny.
What's up,
North
Dirty?
Carolina. Yeah, stoked. Appreciate everybody showing up.
Hell yeah, I appreciate you all of you being here still.
Yeah, no, dude. That was the clunkiest start of Naturally Gnar to date, and I'm glad to get it out of the way.
Natalie, what's up, girl? Oh my god. Love you, girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
There's a lot of good people out there. I know. I just happen to not be at in the right place at the right time, I suppose.
Well, I mean, it's gotta be for you. Like if you're not right, you're not gonna be right for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not gonna be right inside. And if there was stuff that was just like high conflict, you gotta do something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just the reality of it. So, but yeah, so good to have all these people here. Appreciate all y'all. Let's see. Okay, Natalie from North Carolina.
What's up, Natalie?
Yeah, fighting to save some trails from $1 million quarry company. Oh, goodness. Well, I don't know. You're not going to be able to, unless the mountain bike trails are going to actually bring in revenue. It's just not going to fight it. You're not going to be able to fight it. And I think that's the one thing that Northwest Arkansas has done really well at is taking the value of a piece of property and assigning like it to mountain biking and the tourism and infrastructure that's built around that, and then you have value. Like the mountain bike trails have value. But like until that activation happens, building a trail is no different than building a skate park. It's like, okay, this is where the hooligans hang out. But unless you have like infrastructure built around that, like that changes it. Like that's the thing that allows for more. So I hope more areas get it. Like obviously you're talking about Bellingham and the Pacific Northwest. They don't even have to try. I mean, it's like it's ingrained, it's embedded in the lifestyle up there. I don't want to talk anymore about Bellingham because I know you weren't supposed to really. We weren't supposed to talk about it.
But it doesn't really matter anymore.
No, we're just BSing. It's all made up.
Yeah.
It's all made up stuff.
Oh, Natalie says public land. It's public land. Man. Get some grants? You gotta get some grants going or something?
Yeah, maybe.
It's all work. It's all work to be able to play. And I mean, like we're just so fortunate here because we have so much of this infrastructure that helps us ride, like a lot of times I feel that all the time, like, and our, the trail companies, or not trail companies, I'm sorry. Trail builders, that don't work for a trail company will probably slap my wrist that I don't go out and build trails every week or slap lips. But it's like when we go out, we were able to like go and ride a trail that's ready to go,
Yeah, and not very many spots have that.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that we do need more like community dig days. There's places like hand cut.
Kessler.
Hand cuts. The hauler. The hauler. It's dirt jumps, and they have community dig days.
I think that's something that should be implemented more in
Yeah.
that area instead of hiring, specific companies to just work the trails instead of like telling people to come, dig with us, have a pizza, have a beer,
Yeah.
hang out,
Yeah.
that's what in a way makes Florida different,
Okay.
because people do that and they just post, dig day, this day, and we'll have pizza, we'll have food, we'll have whatever, music, and people just come and
Yeah.
just hang out. And that's how you get connected in the community, in the
Sure.
mountain bike community. You create not bonds, but like connections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
And I
spots
think
like
I
that
feel
out
that's missing there.
here. Yes.
Yeah, there's a few. I think that one of the things that we struggle with is the fact that there are a lot of red tape that goes around property allocation. And so, like, for instance, if it was given and granted a certain way, I can only imagine that you would have to have a licensing of some sort to be able to build something that is used as a public use space, because there are things like risk mitigation where you're like, this is safe or not safe for X activity. And I think that's something that, rogue trail builders, not rogue trail company, but like rogue builders, DIY builders, don't have to worry about. You can just go slap a lip up anywhere, totally fine. But like, is that safe for? Is it rated? Does it have a trail rating? Is it marked clearly? Is there access for ambulance or something like that? So anyways, all that stuff being said, I would love to be involved and to see more rogue trails, but it's just got to be something that's just done, raw, and I think Gnarkansas, we're fine with that, but not everywhere is fine with that. Bentonville being one of them. So it's the prim and proper place. But yeah, what's coming up for you as far as new projects or new things that you're working on?
So far I'm taking a little bit of a break.
Okay.
Because my birthday is coming up and my son's birthday is coming up, so I'm gonna take a trip back to Puerto Rico.
Oh, great.
All right.
Do you have family? Like your family's there?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Any riding there?
Apparently there is.
Okay.
And a lot. And pretty awesome.
Really?
And I never would have imagined. I mean, the center of the island is just mountains. So now I think about it, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
We actually met
there's-
somebody at the hub that was visiting. He was from Alabama, but he was from Puerto Rico, but he was in Alabama for living for a little bit, and he drove down here, spent the weekend, and now he's back in Puerto Rico. But we're friends on social media and stuff, and he rides there all the time. It actually looks like pretty cool stuff.
Are you gonna be able to get get a bike there, or bring your bike, or
On this trip, unfortunately.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
all
All
family stuff.
family stuff. Yeah.
It's a short one too.
Oh,
so,
okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, you should at least scope something. Go check a lip out. Go see some kind of something. You gotta know if you're gonna serious about it. Like gonna hit it or not.
I mean, yeah, I already have a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
I've been trying to figure out a way to go back just for riding.
Yeah.
Having so much riding in the States, it's like,
It's a good
I don't
point.
know.
Sometimes it's good
That's a
just
good
to
point.
get away and not ride.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
I don't know if this is the podcast talk about not riding, but
No.
I think we only talk about riding here.
Yeah.
But no, that's cool. I mean, I know that I'll be the first to tell you that it's time to cut out for family. You gotta service the fam.
Yeah.
But no, that's cool. Taking some time off, but you're still accepting rap jobs.
Oh, yeah.
For always.
Yeah. What I do is just I schedule them whenever I'm not doing anything personal. So
Gotcha. How do they? How would one reach out to you if they were wanting to get the bike wrapped?
So I have my Instagram, I have my Facebook, I actually have two Instagrams, the Facebook. I have my website, which I'm still working on the domain, but that's on the works.
Sure.
And my email.
Email?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like to give my phone number.
Oh, don't. Please don't. Especially on the internet.
Usually the way people contact me is Instagram and Facebook.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So if anybody's looking to get their bike wrapped by somebody that's clearly a pro at this, Instagram's probably the safest thing.
Unless it's word of mouth, which a lot of them are, and they get my phone number from one of my clients.
Sure.
Well, that's a way to get it.
Oh yeah, but I mean, even if it is a reference thing, just drop. I'm sure they could just drop it, name drop, and then you'll hook it up. For whatever hooking it up is for in wraps. But we, in this show, we talked a lot about like options that you can do to help, make the cost something that's in your realm of possibility. Half wraps. Breaking the bike down yourself.
I have a price range for what I know the labor and the materials are going to cost, but I do talk to the person and I ask them their budget. I try to work with my clients, to get them the best offer of both worlds.
So you can do basic wraps, you can do fully customized wraps, you can send your bike disassembled, assembled. I mean, anything goes.
Yep.
And of course there's a cost behind all of it, but all the options are there.
Yeah.
If anybody is wondering.
Yeah, even if it's just change of logos, even patterns or the same thing, think about it. Like the same thing that's on there, imagine transition, for example, logo with that in the background.
Inside of it. Yeah.
Do that,
right.
That is a lot for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even for me, like I have my polygon where I have the lower is black. It's like half black, half purple. I imagine that you could just do the purple area and just that color is changed.
Yep.
So yeah, there's tons of options. If you'd like to get a quote, hit Maya up on ye old Instagram.
Oh yeah.
And
you will not be disappointed.
I try to be everywhere. I'm like in the soup.
There we go. Very
but
cool.
I mean that's what I do, so I have to be in the soup.
Yeah. Well, if you want work, you got to get out in the field. You got to get out there and dig through them trenches. So, well, I think this is a good point to wrap it up. I really appreciate you coming, and
it was awesome.
We
really enjoyed it.
We got a lot accomplished. We talked about some very hot topics. So if you got into the show late, you're probably gonna want to rewind.
Yeah, I bet my faces went.
You had
my
some,
face went through a lot.
You had some different faces.
Yeah, there was emotions coming out, but
that's okay.
That's
a lot of sweat too.
No, that's okay. No. I mean, and I again thank you for opening up to us, sharing your story, and then being honest about your experiences, good and bad. I think that's very important. Honesty is very important. And I hope that we can get back to a harmonious point one of these days with you too. And hopefully,
for sure.
Yeah. Well, maybe it might be 10 years down the road, but maybe 5.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna be riding. We're gonna be shredding.
Yeah.
Soon. I'm just gonna put it out there.
There we go.
And
There we
you're
go.
gonna swing by on your way through.
No, we're going to like Howler or something.
Okay.
We're not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna figure.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
figure it
yeah,
out.
that's
We'll
what I
figure it
mean.
out.
We'll go somewhere, but we'll go somewhere other than the norm.
There's writing everywhere.
Yeah.
There's writing everywhere. Well, thanks everybody for sticking around with us. Maya, thanks a bunch.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Yeah. And we'll see y'all next go around.
Yep.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.